offer them all the tools that I can. And if I don't have the tools, to send them to people who do have the tools. So that collaborative team approach. I also feel a responsibility to push and remind people of things that they've done and about their motivation and what's driving them, giving them.
I agree with all of you guys too. Actually, I was thinking of this last night, how best to describe it. It's a really good question, and I really believe definitely in the team approach. I love what you can help me answer what I'm about to explain, because everything you explain, like the family's role, the treatment's role, society's role, I definitely agree with that. I picture it almost like a baseball game, and it's like everyone has a position on the field, but if I'm the pitcher, like if I'm the person in recovery, like I'm the only one that can throw the ball to the batter, and I'm responsible for my recovery, but everyone else has to play their position, or I can't do that. Because I think in the end, for me as an adult patient, I really had to, in the end, take responsibility. I'll admit, I thought when I go to therapy that these people are going to fix me. And I was waiting for that to happen. And finally, in the end, what was really great about my treatment team was part of their role, I think, was for them to realize when I was not taking responsibility for my recovery. And it's not to put it on their shoulders, but for them to tell me, to be direct, Jenny, you're not being responsible for your recovery right now. And that was what I needed. So my treatment team had to be hard on me. And going back to the question asked in the back of the room, they also had to tell me at a point when I was obsessed with recovery, and all I did in my life was go to group and read books on eating disorders and go to therapy and treatment. And finally, my therapist actually said, Jenny, don't come to therapy next week. Go out with friends. Go to a movie during this time. Have fun. And let's reevaluate how often you need to come here. And of course, I was doing much better at that time, but I think that is part of the treatment team's role to help us transition out of treatment. So does that all make sense?
I think that the responsibility really lies on the patient at the end of the day. I think that nobody can make anybody do anything. You can push, you can help. The team, I also feel treatment needs to talk amongst themselves. I know for myself speaking, they all communicated to make sure, like some of you have said, that they're the expert in this area, they're the expert in this, but to make sure that progress was being made, that my primary therapist felt, good with all the people. Sometimes I switch people, quite frankly. I think that there has to be a mutual understanding on the approaches that they do. The cognitive is a combination of art therapy, role-playing. Role-playing really got me over the last, kind of crunch I had, to be honest. It really did. And, you really got to be proactive. I still think you have to commit. People may have to help you a little bit, but they can only do so much. And you have to utilize the strategies and tools that they give you. And you've got to say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And, change the mindset from, I'm trying, I'm doing the best I can, to, okay, I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to really work and trust. They are the experts. I know my way isn't really working. Isn't that like a Dr. Phil thing or something? And that I'm going to use all those things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the end of the road, it's me. And I think, kind of to piggyback on the question, at least for me in recovery, I spent over 23 years struggling. I did lots of stuff that was draining. I think really is where I felt the magic. I wasn't even having anxiety to bring it. I learned how to deal with all the things that I stuffed down through bulimia. I finally had a voice. I think through working on my bulimia, which I would say like a disease, this is an illness, my real self actually emerged rather than focusing on who am I. It came. So I don't know, I think that using everything that you learn, and ultimately, being proactive, think of all the time we do binging and purging. I mean, come on, and all the other wonderful compulsive exercising and pills. You've got to put even more effort into getting well. It just is what it is. And, if you really keep, at the end of the day wanting to get well, I again, not defining a specific time frame. And your treatment team helps you as well. You know, when you're not, you know, when you really feel like it's just not important, it's gone. You know, you always gotta, you know, keep in touch with yourself, but at least for me, that's where I felt that the real crossover and the magic happened.
Well, you know, when I first read this question, I had to ask myself, well, you know, can I give an objective answer for patients of all ages who are trying to recover? In other words, where does the initial responsibility lie, i.e. an adolescent or child patient who's still a minor under parental control, or an intervention setting where, and I've seen this happen when I've run support groups in people, I've been running for 3 years at a treatment center with another person, and I would see young women come in insisting that they had no problems, and when surrounded with their peers suddenly realize this isn't normal, I don't have to live like this. But if they hadn't had that intervention, probably we would have never been confronted with the fact that they actually have, if this is a problem, this isn't just who they are. So I think that, you know, answering that question on one level, where's the initial responsibility? Well, if you're a legal adult and you have sole custody of yourself and nobody's going to commit you, well, you know, that probably applies for you, absolutely. If you're dealing with a child or an adolescent patient or somebody who do have the power to do an intervention and maybe at least give them that chance, well, it's a good conscience responsibility. But speaking as a you know, an individual who largely conducted her recovery process as a legal adult, I mean, and not having any of these resources as much as I would have loved them, and that's what my whole book is about. It's 27 chapters. How did I teach myself to eat? Because I didn't have a nutritionist or dietitian. And when I asked my parents for help, unfortunately, since they didn't really understand eating disorders, neither did I, that help was not forthcoming. And our insurance plan didn't cover treatment when I was, you know, suffering in the dark ages of eating disorders awareness. And so I mean, ultimately, it's my life. And I'm just speaking for myself. I love what everybody said, and I'm grateful for all of it, because I'm just going to give one very narrow perspective. But at the end of the day, just like it's my guitar, I can beat it up, or I can, you know, put it in its case and take care of it. Nobody else is going to care as much about saving my own life, even if they could, as I do. And while I can try to impose a responsibility on those around me by saying, which I firmly believe, that none of us ever has a right to give up on anyone else, we don't have that right. Frankly, we don't even have the right to give up on ourselves, because all we have to do is look at some of the great, very difficult genocide-type situations in our society and ask ourselves, why did some people pass away and other people survived? And study their stories. It was about self-efficacy. It was about taking responsibility for the quality and the ability to hang on in your own life. So, my personal belief, outside of an adolescent or a child or, you know, an initial intervention setting as possible, is that absolutely it's the patient's responsibility. The patient has the most to lose, and the patient has the most to gain. However, I would certainly hope and appeal to this in all the community, which of course, you know, not the people in this room, we're all here, but the rest of them who aren't here to defend themselves, we would certainly hope that they would rise to the occasion as well.
I think everyone has covered the gamut of advocating for the patient's responsibility. One thing I'd like to say on that is that the patient needs to have their nutritional mind rehabilitated. Yeah, I said that right, that's really funny. Their mind rehabilitated nutritionally before they can really choose fully, I believe, to do the work themselves. So keep that in mind if you yourself are struggling, that you need to have the mind in order to choose, and don't put that second. Don't tell your nutritionist that they're wrong. Do what they say. Rehabilitate your mind. It's everything will come easier after that.
One little thing is, as a society, as we talk about eating disorders, I think that we have an opportunity here to use our advocate voices, and the one thing that we really need to do is look at eating disorders as a spectrum, so that